Hello, everybody. Would you believe it or not if I said take two on this? Because the fucking course fucked up the slideshow, had the damn TV volume up. I can't hear it because I have my headphones in, noise cancellation. And again, sorry if you hear echoes. There's not much in our living room, and there might be birds or my brother yelling dumb shit. That's how it be in this very professional establishment we have here. But day four, we're doing tight ends. Let's just hop right back into this bitch. Brevin Spranford out of Minnesota definitely said that joke. Um, Last video too, you had to get the terrible accent in. Big body blocking tight end. He'll probably be not much on the receiving end. Has some drops. Not a well polished route runner. That's why I got him low there. But a big athlete that people might give a chance to. Some teams. Then we got Trey Knox out of South Carolina. I believe a transfer from Arkansas and a converted tight end at that. Just raw at that position, more of a dump off, like screen guy. You want to scheme up, but a good enough athlete, I think, that can get a chance. As well as Devin Culp out of Washington, more of a bigger bodied, traditional tight end. Pretty well balanced all around, good hands. Just nothing popping out at you, as well as I feel the same way about A.J. Barner out of Michigan. Had some flashes earlier in the year, but with how that offense is ran, didn't get much targets, no elite traits, but still a solid piece. And then Jared Wiley out of TCU is the guy who I thought about putting in my top 10. Good receiving threat. Can clean up on the route running. And the offense he was in, just a very limited tree, so we don't know how well he can do that and, can improve as a blocker. As we have Tip Ryman out of Illinois, speaking of blocking, size, projection, 6th round, 7th round, maybe even. Very good play strength, good tenacity, good frontline blocker, can get people off their edge and positioning. Could be a better route runner though, just footwork and finding separation, finding the hole. Just frontline game speed, he doesn't really have it. I think he tested better though as an athlete. So got a Nick Boyle comp. The comps aren't really 1-to-1 with the tight ends. Some I like better than others. I just see one comp and just go with it just to get this shit over with. You guys know how it be. Number 9 though is Tanner McLachlan out of Arizona. Also got him a 6th round pick. Could 7th, 6th, 5th. Who really knows, folks? Very good yards after the catch guy. The more I watched him, the more I liked. Good enough athleticism, good trusty hands. Just lacks the blocking, the blackness and the blocking consistency. That just can get cleaned up, misses some angles, get coached up. And for a bigger guy, he doesn't play to his strength, to his size. Doesn't really fight for extra yards too much, but I think he can play in a Hayden Hurst type role at the Y in 12 personnel. Just give him some underneath routes, scheme him open. He'll move some chains for you. Number 8, we got Eric All, another good receiving threat. As I was saying that I prefer receiving tight ends over blocking, but pretty good agility, good yards after the catch. He lacks the physicality though. You'd want him to have more grit and blocking and fighting for yards. And he's had 2 season-ending injuries this year, and when he played for Michigan, so that might deter people. Deter has been my word of the draft season. So I could see that, but I think he has the upside of a Jordan Reed, when he played for Washington. A good, productive tight end. So, and Iowa, that stamp of approval just because he went there for a year. Number 7, Theo Johnson out of Penn State. I'm a little lower on him than other people. Good hands, a freak, I guess. 6'6", 259. Good athleticism for that size. He just lacks the long speed and the fluidity for me. Not a precise route runner. Has some yards after catch ability, but nothing that pops out to me personally. But I think he can be a Foster Moreau type guy, and be a contributor in an offense in 12 personnel and etc. like that. Goal line threat. He can jump up and get it. He'll fight for the ball. So I see what people are saying. It just I don't know. I don't think it was consistently shown there. And again, the Penn State offense was very, very limited last year. You know it's bad when an Ohio State fan has to defend Drew Aller because of how pathetic that the play calling was for Penn State. But speaking of I got Cade Stover, 4th to 5th. I think I'm a little lower on him than most people from what I've seen. Tough, gritty player, good leader, vocal, hands, improved, hard worker. Like he was, D-end, linebacker at a high school coming in freshman year. He worked hard at being a tight end, switching up. So I think he's going to be a hard-nosed, film room workout guy. He can get coached up better in the blocking technique. It's just very consistent, willing blocker, but sometimes just doesn't have his hands in the right position, doesn't really, know what to do there, and then just lacks the acceleration, not too fast of a receiver, but he can get downfield on some seam routes and, has some yards after catch ability, breaking tackles and stuff like that, but he's not going to outrun much NFL athletes, I don't think. But saw Dawson Knox comp. I think that could be his ceiling, that starter for years on end, if not, another good 12 personnel guy, if you get someone like a Dalton Kincaid, a more receiving tight end in there with him. But yeah, he's going to be a tough-nosed guy and fight for a job. Then we got Ben Sinnott out of Kansas State, another 4th to 5th round guy. These tight ends are kind of all lumped together. There's not too much of a consensus, so it's just more what you like. And another good receiving guy, pretty good agility, solid hands, can stretch the field to some extent, has some tracking skills to him, but I feel like he can be a more crispy route runner, sell it better, be more straight line, cutting and whatnot. Limited catch radius though for a guy his size. Has shorter arms, so I guess that could be a reasoning for that. So we got a Tommy Tremble comp. He was kind of similar coming out of Notre Dame in that aspect. For a guy I'm really higher on than most people I've noticed is Dallin Holker out of Colorado State. So we got a 5th round pick. He could be 6th round, 7th even. Very good yards after the catch, good toughness, pretty good speed and agility for a tight end with his shorter size or height and weight. So that's why he's more of that, more receiving threat. Pretty much played exclusively in the slot though, in the wide position. So he's or H-back really. I think I've been saying the terminology wrong, calling them wide tight ends, but so he'll probably rarely be lined up on the line of scrimmage blocking. He's not that good in the run. And, could clean up his footwork, though. He could be a better precise route runner to get separation. But I think of a guy like Dalton Schultz could be his ceiling, a very good receiving tight end and knows how to get in between the zones and, a good security blanket for CJ and Dak when he was in Dallas. So I personally like him a lot. Then we got another guy I'm high on, Jaheim Bell at Florida State. 6'2", 241. He's not a traditional tight end. Again, he's more of an H-back. He's damn near a receiver, running back. Almost like a slower Deebo Samuel I wanted to comp him to, because that's really who he plays like and can play like. Very good agility, very good versatility. Runs like a running back. They did little jet sweeps to him at Florida State and at South Carolina. Blocking, he's just not gonna give you much, and could improve his play strength. That's why we got a Chick Okongwu comp. how Tennessee uses him and how he was used in Maryland. Like a Delaney Walker-esque player, Kyle Juszczyk, even. A fullback tight end type guy. Now, it's a weird blended position, but I feel like he could be a very good, just a skill player for you, for your offense to move. And then, Jatavion Sanders out of Texas is almost like a bigger version of him. Second, third round pick, I feel like he has such an upside that's where he should be projected. Very good acceleration. He just seems to always be open in the middle of the field. Give it to him. Good enough ball skills. Good catch radius. I guess could be improved. Didn't see much where he high pointed the ball, but I feel like it's definitely in him. And a newer to the tight end position as well, as a Trey Knox was. So he just needs to be coached up with the blocking technique and the footwork with the route running. But I see a guy like Isaiah Likely, who was very high on at Coastal Carolina, good yards after the catch, receiver with acceleration. He has a good role now for him in Baltimore, and I feel like Jatavion can be that as well. But number one should be no shock. It's Brock Bowers out of Georgia. Maybe the most complete player in this draft, first round pick, folks. What are we doing? Top 10, damn near, top 15. Good athleticism. Great athleticism for the position. Yards after the catch. Pretty good strength when he's running the ball. Afterwards, he'll fight for it. But just lacks the consistent blocking strength just at his size. I don't see much cons with him, though. I think he's a solid blocker still. But primarily will probably be a slot guy. But, I think of a guy like George Kittle, who's just, all-around balanced tight end. I feel like he's going to be that. He's going to, right when he enters the league, be a top 10 receiver. Very, very high on him. And, I like this tight end class. You could say it's not too, star-studded, but when is it ever really, Just get these young, talented guys in good systems, and I think that they'll produce for you. So this has been Tight Ends. You guys know already we're doing offensive tackles tomorrow, and then centers and guards, and then we'll switch over to defense for next week, and then you'll see me again a week before the draft. So I'm gonna keep doing these shits. Thank you, idiots, for watching my dumb ass, and this is your boy King Kaleb here, signing the fuck out.